Trick or treat! Happy Halloween! Can you guess what I am dressed as tonight? Oh, that's right. I'm a cheetah. Rawr. You know, the cat variety. I'm actually very faithful in relationships. Just let's get that out of the way. I thought tonight, being Halloween, I would trick or treat myself and all of you. You've probably seen a bunch of these wine and Halloween candy posts and articles going around the internet. Wine and candy, you know, it's a fun experiment. It's kind of trendy, you know, it's very silly, but occasionally they do. I think I read a lot of them. Sometimes they get it right. But honestly, I mean, it's so much candy. It's M&Ms, it's Skittles, it's Twizzlers, it's Reese's peanut butter cups, it's candy corn. Like, there's so much candy and wine. No, so much sugar. That's a lot of sugar. To be honest with you, I think the best pairing with Halloween candy is a nice ice cold, refreshing seltzer. I mean, all that sugar, all that fat on your palate, and I don't even know. Now, truth be told, when it comes to food and wine pairing, dessert and wine pairing is sort of the exception to the rule of the contrast complementary wine pairing ideal. Okay, that is because it's a bit of a clash if your wine is too dry and your dessert is too sweet. So if you really want to get into the rules of food and wine pairing in a fun way, you can check out my series 21 Days to Wine, episode 21 to be precise. We talk a little bit more about food and wine pairing. So in the case of candy, Halloween candy, I have decided to keep it simple and keep everything in sort of one flavor profile, all right? We're not doing chocolate. We're not doing Sour Patch Kids. We're not doing Skittles or Starbursts. We're gonna do candy corn because, I mean, what's more quintessential than that? And Butterfinger, okay? These guys have something in common. You can probably imagine what it is. This one has it in the name, Butterfinger, okay? It's buttery. It's buttery. It's a little oily. It's also got sort of a savory, like a sort of salty, savory quality to it, like salted butter, you know, salted caramel. So, you know, a little bit of mouth watering. You know, this is probably, aside from the fact that it gets stuck in your teeth, one of the more balanced candy bars out there. And then, well, candy corn, I mean, they really do kind of taste like caramel dipped popcorn. But again, let's see, like a candy corn, you know, yeah, it's sweet, but there is sort of a creamy butteriness to it, like a vanilla, maybe like a vanilla frosted piece of popcorn, which is delicious, you know, in moderation. And so I chose two wines that I thought would pair exceptionally well with these two candies, okay, for the same reason. The buttery quality, the slightly salted caramel quality that they both possess, and the sort of glossy creaminess that they leave on your palate. And I have opted for sparkling wine. Sparkling wine. Why? In a nutshell, a real nutshell, again, go watch the YouTube channel if you want to learn more about this stuff, or read my blog. It's all down in the description down there. But why sparkling wine, and why champagne style, classic method in particular? Why? The bubbles are tinier, they're tighter. This wine is fermented a second time inside the bottle. There is a ton of pressure. It builds up, so you get tight, tiny bubbles. They last longer, and they work like little scrubbing bubbles, like scrubbing brushes on your tongue to sort of skim away all of that fat. That is why people love to have like fried chicken and champagne, or fried chicken and macaroni and cheese, that sort of thing. So the first one is a Trento Doc, okay? Northern Italy, champagne style, but it's quite dry. It's a brut, so it's not super, super dry. It's classic, probably 6 grams, you know, of sugar per liter, a little bit more, a little bit less, you know, here it's a range, but it's dry and clean and fresh. So we're gonna have a candy corn. I'm gonna have some Trento Doc. Cheers. And what do we have? What do we have? Well, I will say this. Woo! The wine is so fresh. It's almost, it's very, very fresh. It kind of brings out, if candy corn actually tastes like corn, kind of tastes the corn in there. There's something vegetal, like planty. Interesting. And maybe add some complexity to the candy corn. But definitely, yeah, it just sort of leaves a clean, like a very, very delicate vanilla sheen on the palate. Very pleasant, not heavy. Again, sort of like fresh canned corn. I don't mind it. I'm gonna try the champagne. So this is, as you can see, the color is a little darker because we have a Guy Larmandier. Let's see if you can see that label. I'll write it down in the low. And it is a Millésime 2010. So 2010 vintage, well, like the harvest, okay? So some time has gone by, 12 years to be exact. The wine is darker in color. The bubbles have settled down a bit. The wine is gonna come across as not sweet, but a little bit less dry, less harsh, okay? So here we go. It's also got like some caramel, sort of some slight caramel notes on the nose, a little bit more of that sort of brioche, fresh out of the oven cake and stuff like that. So, I mean, with a candy corn, I mean, we're almost in the same realm. Like the caramel, it's sort of the caramel aspect. I can't wait for the Butterfinger trial. Oh my God, that's delicious. Actually, the candy corn somehow, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I'm not actually a scientist. I'm a sommelier. Brings out the sort of the deeper, the depth of caramel, like the caramel notes in this aged champagne. Very pleasant. While we're here, let's try the Butterfinger, which is milk chocolate, as you may know. But it's coated in that sort of crispy, flaky, salty, buttery caramel. The eating live. Oh, it's almost like it's fried. Like a deep fried. The center of a Butterfinger feels fried to me. You ever get that impression? You can go fried wafer. Very buttery and like the outside crispiness of a waffle. Okay. The champagne, perfection. Again, it's 10 years old. Millésime 2010, okay? So it's a little aged, it's a little smoother. It's got caramel notes on its own, but again, it is dry. It's a dry, classic method. Nice, tight little bubbles, but a little bit more relaxed. And then we have the Trento Doc, which is our fresher, cleaner, brighter, still sparkling method, classic method. Ooh, and that's definitely greener. Okay, let's see. I feel like that could almost be a bit too dry with this, a little bit too much. All right, let's see. So, again, it's interesting. The cleaner, drier, fresher sparkling method wine, classic method wine, with the buttery candy, the caramel. I mean, there's nothing organic or planty in this candy whatsoever. Maybe it's a little bit of the cocoa bean, I don't know. But when you drink it with the sleeker, cleaner, more refreshing sparkling wine, it's yeah, you get sort of a vegetal quality out of it. It's balancing. It's a little bit balancing. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. The ultimate winner for both of these candies was the Millésime Guy Larmandier. Oh my God, it's heavy. Guy Larmandier. I didn't open this bottle. Okay, I pre-poured from another one. Millésime 2010. So you know you got I got a slightly aged champagne because you want those caramel notes, not the sweetness, just the notes, because they will complement your dessert. And on that note, I'm gonna eat this Lion Bar for no reason other than it kind of matches my costume. And I think I'll probably pair it with bourbon, because chocolate and bourbon is really nice together. Chocolate, bourbon, cigars, you know, that whole thing, dark and swarthy. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and I hope it has been a real treat for you. It was not a trick. This is real education. And everyone have a safe and happy Halloween. Bye, cheers.